If you're over 60, every drink you pour, whether it's a relaxing glass of wine, a cold beer after a long day, or a casual whiskey on the weekend, is doing more than just taking the edge off. It could be rewriting the story of your heart health in ways you never imagined. What if that one harmless drink you've grown to enjoy as part of your routine is actually weakening the very muscle keeping you alive, one silent sip at a time? As a heart doctor, I've seen far too many older adults come into my clinic thinking they're doing everything right, only to discover that a daily drink something they believed was helping was slowly setting them up for high blood pressure, arrhythmias, and even heart failure. So today, I'm not here to scold or shame. I'm here to give you the truth, the kind that could save your life or the life of someone you love. In this video from Senior Health Boost, I'm urging every senior to stop drinking 5 specific types of alcoholic beverages that, over time, quietly damage the heart. But don't worry, this isn't about cutting out all joy. I'll also show you what's safe, what's not, and how to enjoy life without putting your heart at risk. Stick around until the end, because the first drink I'm going to talk about, it's likely already in your hand or part of your nightly routine. Before we dive in, make sure you've hit that subscribe button and turned on the bell, so you never miss a weekly heart health tip from Senior Health Boost. And if this video resonates with you, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, feel free to leave your feedback helps us grow and improve what we bring to you. 1. Red wine a nightly glass that isn't helping. 1 glass of red wine a night is good for my heart. Sound familiar? You've probably heard it from friends, read it in magazines, seen it promoted on TV shows. It sounds elegant. It feels almost medicinal. But here's the truth, especially if you're over 60. That glass of red wine you pour each night in the name of heart health, it may actually be wearing your heart down, not building it up. Let me explain. As we age, our bodies change dramatically, especially in how we process alcohol. Your liver slows down, your heart becomes more vulnerable, and your blood pressure more sensitive. That nightly drink, even if it's just 1 glass, can gradually raise your blood pressure, weaken the walls of your heart muscle, and increase your risk of atrial fibrillation, a dangerous heart rhythm disorder that triples your risk of stroke. I've sat beside countless patients in the ER who were shocked to discover that their seemingly healthy wine habit had led to irregular heartbeat, sky-high blood pressure, or even the early signs of heart failure. Wine and sleep, a hidden saboteur. Let's talk about sleep. Many people say a glass of wine helps them wind down. And yes, it might help you fall asleep faster, but it disrupts your sleep quality. Wine causes shallow, fragmented sleep and increases levels of cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone. Higher cortisol equals more stress on your heart. More stress on your heart equals greater risk of damage. Now combine that with common medications that many seniors take, like those for blood pressure, diabetes, or cholesterol. Alcohol doesn't just interact with these drugs, it can neutralize their benefits or worsen their side effects. The result? Your medication may stop working the way it should and your heart ends up paying the price. The takeaway on Red Wine: I'm not here to take away life's little pleasures, but I am here to tell you the truth, because the truth can save lives. Your heart deserves better than outdated advice and clever marketing. So if you've been clinging to that nightly glass of red wine because you believe it's good for your heart, I urge you to reconsider. Your heart doesn't need ethanol. It needs hydration, nourishment, and care. And speaking of hydration, what you drink matters just as much as what you eat. So let's move on to the next drink on the list. It's often seen as the light, casual choice. But when it comes to your aging heart, it may be just as harmful as a shot of whiskey. Ready for drink number 2? Let's talk about beer, light in feel, but heavier in consequence. Before we move forward, let's briefly recall where we left off. Your nightly glass of wine may not be the heart-friendly ritual you thought it was. And just as wine can quietly chip away at your heart's strength, the next drink on our list is even more deceptive because of its easy charm and false sense of lightness: beer. Let's dive in. 2. Beer, light in taste, heavy on your heart. For many older adults, beer isn't about getting drunk, it's about winding down. A bottle with dinner, another while watching the evening news. It feels familiar, casual, and comforting. But comfort doesn't always mean safety. The truth is, beer carries a hidden burden, especially for aging bodies. One of its most dangerous effects is how it contributes to internal inflammation. You see, as your body digests beer, it doesn't just process alcohol. It also produces chemicals that can inflame blood vessels, elevate blood pressure, and quietly clog arteries. This happens from the inside out, long before you notice anything's wrong. What's even more alarming? This damage builds slowly, so slowly that you may not connect the dots until your heart struggles to keep pace. I've had patients come to me with heart failure, confused because they never drank too much. But even just 2 beers a day can raise your risk for hypertension, arrhythmias, and eventually, a heart that's too weak to function properly. But that's not all. Beer is often consumed in place of water. And that substitution matters more than you think. Seniors are more vulnerable to dehydration due to natural age-related changes in thirst perception and kidney function. And beer, despite feeling hydrating, actually dehydrates you further. Dehydrated blood becomes thick and sluggish, making it harder for the heart to pump and more likely to form clots. So while beer may feel light, refreshing, even harmless, it's anything but. Its effects on your cardiovascular system are real and often invisible until it's too late. This isn't about judgment. It's about awareness. Each heartbeat matters. Each breath, each walk, each laugh, your heart powers it all. Replacing that beer with something simple like a tall glass of water or even herbal tea could give your heart the break it's been begging for. But if you're thinking beer is the only sweet-tasting danger lurking in your glass, brace yourself. Because the next drink doesn't just feel light, it wears a sugary smile and comes with a fancy name: 3 cocktails, sugar-coated trouble for the aging heart. There's something almost magical about a cocktail. It's not just a drink, it's an experience. Colorful, elegant, often delivered with a twist of citrus or a tiny umbrella, cocktails carry the aura of celebration. For many seniors, it's more than just a beverage, it's a way to relax, to feel youthful, or to connect with happy memories. A cocktail can feel like a small luxury, a moment of joy, but beneath the surface lies a dangerous blend that's far from celebratory. Cocktails are loaded not just with alcohol, but with high fructose syrups, sugary mixers, creamy liqueurs, and fruit juices. That means every sip delivers a double blow: sugar and alcohol, both of which are inflammatory, both of which damage the heart. Why does this matter more after 60? As we age, our metabolism changes. Our pancreas struggles to regulate blood sugar as efficiently. Arteries stiffen. Inflammatory responses become more sensitive. That sweet sip, once just a treat, now contributes to insulin resistance, rising triglycerides, and weight gain around the belly, all major risk factors for heart disease and stroke. Even worse, the sugar masks the strength of the alcohol. You can drink more than you realize, especially in social situations. Unlike whiskey or wine, cocktails don't taste like alcohol, so they slip down easily. That makes it dangerously easy to overconsume. I've seen it too many times. Seniors who never considered themselves drinkers become cocktail regulars, all while unknowingly raising their risk for atrial fibrillation, a heart rhythm disorder that can triple the risk of stroke. And let's not forget how alcohol affects sleep. That evening cocktail may lull you into relaxation, but it fragments your sleep, raises your stress hormones, and taxes your heart through the night. None of this happens suddenly. It's a slow erosion, one that can be reversed if caught early. You don't have to give up all joy, but you do need to weigh the cost. What's worth more, an evening buzz or the freedom to move, walk, breathe, and live fully? Cocktails aren't the end of the story, because next, we're looking at something that seems clean, elegant, and strong but might be doing more damage than all the others combined. For hard liquor, straightforward, but dangerous whiskey, vodka, brandy. These aren't dressed up. No mixers, no fluff, just a glass of something strong and simple. For many seniors, hard liquor is tied to identity. Its strength, its resilience. It's a ritual, a quiet toast to the day, a memory of younger years. But the older we get, the less our bodies tolerate what we once handled with ease. That small glass of hard liquor, it hits harder now. And not just in terms of how it feels going down, it hits your heart, fast and unforgiving. Hard liquor causes blood vessels to constrict rapidly, spiking blood pressure. At any age, that's concerning. But after 60, when arteries are less elastic and the heart is already doing more work, it's downright dangerous. What starts as a calm nightcap can quickly turn into dizziness, chest pain, or even a mini stroke. And for those taking medications, whether for blood pressure, cholesterol, or blood thinners, hard liquor can interfere or amplify side effects. But here's what makes hard liquor even more dangerous. It's often consumed in isolation, quietly, alone. No celebration, no clinking glasses, just a private moment to cope with stress or silence. That kind of drinking isn't always noticed, but the damage adds up night after night. year after year, the heart loses its rhythm, its power, its endurance. If that sounds familiar, if you've ever poured a quiet drink to help you sleep, relax, or ease the ache of the day, know that there are gentler ways to support your body. You've come this far. Your heart has walked every mile with you. It deserves a little protection. And speaking of seemingly harmless habits, there's one more drink we need to talk about. It's marketed as clean, light, and natural, but it's often misunderstood. Let's head into the next section and explore the surprising truth about that final drink and why it might be the most dangerous of all. Sometimes, what feels like comfort is actually putting quiet pressure on your heart, and you may not even realize it until it's too late. Let's pick up where we left off with hard liquor. At first glance, it may seem innocent enough: a sip of whiskey to unwind, a splash of brandy to soften the silence before bed. But under the surface, your heart and liver are working overtime. Unlike years past, your body no longer processes alcohol efficiently. The liver slows down, and while it does, your heart doesn't get a break. It beats harder, less regularly, more strained. The real danger? You often don't feel it until something serious happens. And if you're on medications like blood pressure pills, diabetes meds, or cholesterol-lowering drugs, the combination can be unpredictable, even deadly. These interactions are silent. They don't announce themselves. They quietly interfere with how your body functions until one day, the system breaks down. It's not about how much you drink. It's about how differently your body handles it now, in this stage of life. And truthfully, it doesn't handle it well anymore. So before you pour your next glass, ask yourself, is this helping me feel stronger, or just helping me forget that I feel weak? And speaking of habits that disguise harm as comfort, let's talk about one that's even more common: drinking to sleep. Drinking to sleep, a quiet habit that steals your rest for many older adults. Sleep becomes elusive with age. The nights feel longer, the thoughts get louder, and the silence that once felt peaceful can start to feel heavy. In that stillness, a glass of wine, a shot of whiskey, or a cocktail before bed can seem like a gentle bridge to rest. I've heard it many times: it's the only thing that helps me drift off. And I believe that. But here's what they often don't realize: that one drink intended to bring peace is quietly stealing health from the very organ that keeps them alive. Yes, alcohol can make you drowsy initially, but instead of deep, restorative sleep, it robs you of the essential rest your heart and body desperately need. It disrupts REM sleep, the phase where your body repairs itself, your heart rate stabilizes, and your blood pressure naturally balances. Without REM, your rest isn't healing, it's just unconsciousness. So while you're sleeping, your heart is working harder than ever. You may notice it the next morning: grogginess, a racing heartbeat, anxiety. You may blame age, stress, or poor sleep hygiene. But often, the true culprit was the drink from the night before. And here's the harder truth: this habit can become addictive. What starts as an occasional nightcap becomes a nightly ritual. Your body builds tolerance. You need more alcohol for the same drowsy effect. And your heart, already working overtime, becomes more vulnerable with each sip. The irony is heartbreaking. The thing meant to bring peace becomes the very thing disrupting it. I've had patients, especially those living alone, tell me that drinking helps them quiet the silence. They aren't just drinking for sleep, they're drinking for loneliness. But that silence deserves a gentler remedy. There are other ways to ease into sleep, ways that support your heart, not strain it. Try soft music in the evening, deep, slow breathing, a cup of chamomile or valerian root tea. Even just dimming the lights and turning off screens an hour before bed can help. You deserve rest, real rest, the kind that heals, not just passes time. And your heart, the very engine of your life, deserves a chance to slow down, recover, and beat gently through the night. But if you think nighttime is the only moment alcohol puts stress on your heart, think again, because its effects show up just as clearly in the daytime, in ways you may never connect. Silent stress in daylight. What I see every day. As a heart doctor, I've seen this story unfold more times than I can count. Different patients, different stories, but always the same silent ending. Seniors come into my office looking fine on the outside. They smile, joke, talk about grandkids. Some of them still walk every morning, eat clean, take their vitamins. They think they're doing everything right. But then the lab results come in. The EKG tells a different story. And what I see is a heart under stress, blood vessels inflamed, a rhythm that's offbeat, sometimes dangerously so, damage. Silent, creeping damage. The kind that builds up from habits that never felt harmful, especially alcohol. I've held hands in emergency rooms. I've talked with sons and daughters who never saw it coming. Sometimes the patient feels completely normal until the day they don't. That's what makes alcohol especially dangerous after 60. It's quiet, it's invisible, and it builds gradually until something gives out. A stroke, a heart attack, or a heart so exhausted, it simply can't keep up anymore. But here's the good news. The human body, especially after 60, is still capable of healing. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. You just need to notice. Pay attention. Even one small change, skipping that nightly drink, staying hydrated, checking your blood pressure more often, can ripple into years of better health. And now more than ever, you don't have to do it alone. There are tools designed just for seniors. Smartphone apps that remind you to drink water, monitor your meals, track your medications, and help you stay on course. A healthier heart doesn't start in the ICU. It starts in your kitchen, your living room, your evening routine. So tonight, instead of reaching for that glass, reach for something better. A journal, a warm cup of tea, a phone call with a friend, a walk at sunset. It's not about what you give up. It's about what you gain: clarity, calm, strength, and most of all, time. Because a strong heart gives you time. Time to laugh, time to love, time to live on your own terms. Now, let's take everything we've learned so far and shift toward practical, empowering steps. Because in the next section, we'll explore exactly what changes, small, simple, science-backed, you can start today to support a stronger, steadier heart. Stay with us. You've come this far not just through the video, but through decades of life filled with challenges, victories, responsibilities, and love. So let's take a moment not to judge, not to blame, but to reflect. Because everything we've talked about today isn't about restriction. It's not about control. It's about choice. It's about giving your heart the fighting chance it deserves and giving your future the time it needs. So if there's one question to leave with, let it be this. Not is it too late for me, but rather, am I ready to begin? And if you're still here with me, if something stirred within you during this conversation, then maybe, just maybe, the answer is already yes. Because starting doesn't have to mean doing everything at once. It means doing one thing, right now. What if your heart has been asking for help all along? We often think of the heart as strong, silent, steady. But what if it's been quietly asking for help and we just didn't hear it? Think about all it's carried. The weight of your family, the long hours at work, the late night worries about your children, the griefs that were too heavy to speak aloud, the laughter that came unexpectedly in the middle of hard times, the joy of watching your grandchildren grow, the quiet mornings, the tearful nights, the hugs, the heartbreaks. Through all of it, your heart never asked for applause, never demanded attention. It just kept going faithfully, beat by beat. But after 60, things change. The body changes. And for the first time, your heart is asking for something back. Your awareness, your care, your presence. The drinks that once felt harmless or even celebratory, they may no longer be serving you. In fact, they might be slowly harming the very organ that's carried you through a lifetime. This isn't about fear. It's about respect. Your heart deserves better. It deserves to be heard. It's never too late to choose different life. You're wondering, can I really make a difference at this age? I want you to know, without a doubt, yes, you can. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to fix everything in a day. You just need to start with something small, something doable, something kind. Swap that evening drink for a calming herbal tea. Take a slow walk after dinner. Schedule a checkup you've been postponing. Ask your doctor about your heart health even if you feel fine. Choose water over wine, sleep over sedation, strength over silence. Your heart doesn't expect you to become someone else. It's just asking you to care for the person you already are. One small decision today can create a ripple effect a week from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. That ripple might be a lower blood pressure reading, a peaceful night's sleep, the strength to chase your grandchildren around the yard, or simply waking up with energy you thought you'd lost forever. These choices add up, quietly, consistently, not perfection, just direction. And that direction? It's pointed toward more mornings, more laughter, more connection, more life, a moment of reflection, a lifetime of change. So today, I invite you, no pressure, no guilt, to choose just one change, One thing. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be yours. Because that one change, it tells your heart, I haven't forgotten you. It tells your body, I still believe in you. It tells your spirit, there's more to come. And your future self, stronger, clearer, and more vibrant, will look back and say, I'm glad we started. Let's support each other one heartbeat at a time. At Senior Health Boost, we believe in community. We believe that shared stories, shared struggles, and shared victories can lift us all. So before you go, we'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and drop a comment below. What's one thing you're going to start doing today for your heart? Drinking more water? Sleeping without alcohol? Talking to your doctor honestly? Reducing sugary cocktails or beer? Whatever it is, write one in the comments if you're making a change. And if you're not ready yet, that's okay. We're still glad you're here. Just type "Oh, no judgment." This is about progress, not perfection. We read every comment, and your story might inspire someone else to make the change they've been putting off. So let's talk. Let's encourage. Let's build a healthier life together, one choice at a time. Final words from the heart as we wrap up this episode. Remember this. Your heart isn't just a muscle. It's your memory keeper, your rhythm maker, your silent witness. It has walked every mile with you. So now, maybe it's time to walk a few miles for it. You are not too old. You are not too late. You are not alone. Thank you for spending this time with us. It means more than you know. If this video helped you, inspired you, or even just made you think, please hit the like button. Share it with someone you care about. And most importantly, subscribe to Senior Health Boost. Because here, we turn decades of medical wisdom into simple, powerful actions that help you live the life you deserve. From all of us at Senior Health Boost, here's to your next chapter, stronger, calmer, and more alive than ever. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care of your heart. It's taken care of you for long enough.